Newport-Fersan in the Field, Real Issues, Real Solutions is brought to you by Newport-Fersan Jamaica Limited, the first on the land.
It is now time for Fersan in the Field, Real Issues, Real Solutions. And this morning we are joined by m.gooden, agronomist out of Zone 4. Murphy, good morning and welcome back to the show. How are you?
Good morning, Alti. I'm doing great. And you?
I am great as well. Good to have you joining us and to share, of course, in your wealth of knowledge that this morning we're touching on the issue of nutrient and pest management in hydroponics farming. And interestingly, Murphy, I was sharing information this morning about the importance of the newer technology in the agriculture and fisheries sector, given what we have been learning about a proliferation of pests, so more pests out in the field. And so we're also having to address the issue of those pests making their way into the controlled environment.
Yes, out there. Yeah.
All right. Just want to point out to the listeners that we will also have conversation with a couple of farmers later on as well, Overo Oates and Jamie Robinson. So farmers, it's not just what Newport-Fersan is doing or saying, it is indeed how it is that the farmers are responding to the information that is being shared with them and the kind of support that is being offered by Newport-Fersan and the work that they are doing in the area of hydroponics. So, Murphy, I don't take anything for granted. When we talk about hydroponics, what are we talking about? What are we referencing?
All right. So just to basically put it as simple as possible, when we talk about hydroponics, just take a look at the key components of the word itself. Hydro meaning water, and ponics basically meaning work. It's basically growing crops in a soilless medium. So it's basically growing plants without soil or water.
Okay. And that is a simple and easily understood definition. Would you say that we have seen significant movement in the field of hydroponics in this country in perhaps the last 10 or so years?
I would definitely say that the increase in hydroponics farming is going up very fast. So, for example, in my zone out here, Zone 4, I am seeing where a lot of persons are going into the hydroponics farming because from just looking at it, it looks simple and it looks easy, but there's a lot of key issues associated with it. So one of my purpose of being here this morning is to basically look on the issues associated with hydroponics farming. So if our farmers basically follow a precise approach, what this will do, it will ensure that these farmers are not only getting better yields, but they are getting healthy plants, and they are also doing so at a lower cost. Because a lot of times when I basically come across a hydroponics farmer, it's a lot of trial and error. They started going into hydroponics, and when they started, they didn't expect to have this issue or that issue, but we'll discuss those issues as we move forward.
All right, excellent. All right, so let us then take a look at some of the issues. What are some of the issues associated generally with hydroponics farming?
All right, now one of the key issues that I have observed is that when it comes down to water pH and EC, those are two major problems in hydroponics farming. So for example, if a farmer is growing lettuce, we want to basically know that with lettuce, the ideal pH is basically at a range of 5.8 to about 6.2. But before we even get down into that, what does water pH really stand for? So the water pH basically stands for, and basically to simply put, how acidic or how alkaline a solution is. So again, the ideal pH for lettuce, you want to basically keep it at around 5.8 to around 6.2. What you'll observe is that if the water pH is not within that range, you'll have an issue when it comes down to the absorption of the various type of nutrients that you're putting on. Now the EC, on the other hand, speaks on the concentration level of the solution. So if it's a case where the solution is too strong, you'll have the roots being burnt, or if it is too weak, you'll observe that you'll be seeing some yellowing taking place. There'll be a loss of yield, and because the nutrition is poor, the plants will easily be more susceptible to various diseases, for example. Another issue associated...
Hold on, before you move, EC stands for electrical conductivity, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, you can go ahead now, Murphy.
Okay. Yeah, man. So again, I already mentioned that the water pH ideal for lettuce is around 5.8 to 6.2. The EC that you would want it to be at for the lettuce in the hydroponics is roughly at around 1.5 to 2.0 ms per cm. So that's basically the range that you would want it to be at. And another issue associated with hydroponics farming in Jamaica is the whole idea of nutrient incompatibility. That is, more specifically, you'll have farmers mixing both magnesium sulphate and calcium nitrate into one stock tank. No, this is not recommended, because these two fertilizers out here, what they do is that they will form a certain substance, a precipitate, and what that will do, the plant will not be able to absorb this chemical that is formed, and also it can possibly clog up the system, and it can also be a waste of fertilizer as well. So not only that, I alluded to the third issue, which would have been pest and disease management. Now, with pest and disease, it's important to monitor both the plant physiology and also the external environment of the plant itself. So a lot of times, these farmers out there will basically put their hydroponic system in the back of their yards where there is minimal sunlight, and what you'll find happening is that because of the environment is very conducive for fungal and even bacterial growth. So, and especially if they're not having a proper nutritional program. And once they're not having a proper nutritional program, even if it is in the sun and it's getting the right amount of sunlight, if the plants are not healthy, they are still susceptible to diseases and pests. The common insect pests that often are spotted in the hydroponic system is basically the whitefly, aphids, as it relates to another pest. The chips is also common in the hydroponic system.
Right. And you know, Murphy, as I listen to the list, I want to go back to the whole issue of nutrient incompatibility, because I think there are some people, unless they have been schooled in the art of how to set up a proper hydroponic system, complete with nutrients, which is why we're having this conversation this morning. They probably likely won't recognize that there are certain fertilizers that can't be mixed. So unpack a little bit more of that for us, the kind of research that has to go in to ensuring that you have the right blend for the particular crops that you're growing, even in that hydroponic setting.
Okay. All right. Now, as it relates to mixing of these certain fertilizers, one of the things that I always use to bring across my point as simple as possible out here, when I'm talking to my farmers, I'll let them know that plants need a total of 16, 17 different nutrients. But even though they need all 16 and 17 nutrients, just look at it like this. You have 16, 17 members within a family. And even though each member is important within the family, there are times when one or two family members don't agree. So because those relatives don't deal as important as how they are within the family, it's important to not have them at the same location at the same time, because just like with nutrients, the plants will not be able to utilize it. So in the case of the hydroponics farm, or for our hydroponics growers, magnesium sulphate and calcium nitrate, they chemistry of it all, when those two are mixed, right? When they are placed in one container and mixed as one solution, what you'll have happening is that a certain compound, so they're going to be mixed, and a certain compound is going to be formed known as calcium sulphate. Now, what this is basically a white cloudy substance, and what it does, it basically clogs the system, and the plant is not able to utilize it directly. So it's important to observe this whenever you're doing your fertilization. And the same apply for farmers who use our drip systems. It's the same thing. If this external substance is formed, then it basically clogs the drip line.
You know, I find this so interesting because over the years, as we have conversed with you all at Newport-Fersan Jamaica Limited, you have talked very often about your precise nutrient management system, and that is something that we learned from what is going on out in the field. But clearly, you have to be focused on that as well, growing in this medium or using hydroponics.
Exactly.
Fantastic. And what kinds of results? I know we're going to get to our farmer interaction in just a bit. We will do that after we come back from the break. But when you go out in the field, Murphy, and you're having these conversations with farmers, what are they telling you? Is it a hard sell? Or is there a general understanding that, listen, we really have to get it right if we're going to be successful?
All right. No, what I can say out here is that whenever I'm in the field, a lot of times when I share these thoughts with the farmers, one of the things that I observe is that they tend to have this shock look on their faces. So for example, the whole mixing the calcium nitrate and magnesium sulphate in the same container, a lot of farmers are not aware of that. They don't know why, they don't know how, they have been using that method and they are basically getting some poor feedback. Oftentimes, the farmers will believe that they are doing everything down to the very T, and no matter what they do, they basically cannot get it right. Sometimes I'll even see that, in particular, discourage a lot of farmers from the hydroponic system. A lot of times, you'll find that the learning curve, which is basically much slower, because not only do these farmers don't have the access, they basically don't have that help that is needed to basically guide them as to which blend is best and how do you mix those blends. And as you rightfully said out here, we at Newport-Fersan, we basically we provide a program for farmers for the hydroponics too, in that we can basically give the farmers a approach that is technically sound and to basically eliminate a lot of the issues that we mentioned earlier.
All right, Murphy, we're on the break. We're going to take that. When we come back, we will have two farmers joining us because, of course, as they say, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. So we want to hear from them what their experience has been and what corrective measures they have taken with the assistance of Newport-Fersan to get it right. All right, so we continue our conversation now. It's Fersan in the field, real issues, real solutions. With us this morning, m.gooden, and we're turning the spotlight now on two farmers that the team has been working with. We have Overa Oates, and we also have Jamie Robinson. Let us start with Overa. Good morning. How are you?
Okay.
Good to have you on with us. And of course, we're very happy that we get to tell even a little bit of your story. Let us say good morning as well to Jamie Robinson. Jamie, how are you?
Good morning. I am doing well. Doing fine.
Good to have you on with us, and happy to be able to share some of your experience so that others can learn from it as well. Overa, how long have you been a hydroponics farmer?
I've been doing hydroponics about a year and a half now.
Okay, so relatively short period of time. What has the
Yes.
experience been like for you thus far?
I am loving it. It's wonderful. It's less stress, less hassling. You know, it's a more reliable method of farming, I think. Yes, so I'm enjoying the process. I've been farming a long time ago, and I'm getting better rewards doing my vegetables hydroponically now. So
Oh, that is amazing. So you were an
yeah,
open field farmer for many, many years before jumping over to hydroponics.
right.
And
Yes.
what prompted you to make that jump?
There are several issues. One, labor. Labor is one of the biggest issue. It is. You can rely on your crops better. You're sure that you will get what you put in. You know, it is less exposed to like natural climate change. That will have things that will affect us from climate change and weather and so forth. So yes, I think it is a better method of growing my vegetables.
All right. Let us talk specifically now about the blends that you, or what blend you have from Newport-Fersan that you have applied as part of your regime, and what are those results like?
All right. I since I've started, I started using um the blends from Newport person, but I changed to another brand or another company, and I had to come back to Newport. So I think Newport is giving me the best results from their nutrients. I'm using um all that I use are from Newport. I'm using the calcium nitrate, the magnesium sulphate, and there is a blend that they made specifically for hydroponics, which is the 81538, which I use as my nutrient solution in my water.
Okay. And so you have discovered that it theirs is a very efficient system or efficient blends.
Yes. That give me an efficient system. I think the plants responded very well to what I'm using now. As I said before, I've tried other nutrients, and I had to come back to this that I'm using because it gives me
What
the best results.
okay. What vegetables do you grow?
Pardon me?
What types of vegetables do you grow?
I grow mainly lettuce. I do leafy greens.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Excellent. And lettuce is well loved here in Jamaica. We can't always afford it, but it is well loved. All right. Let me move over now to Jamie. Jamie, how long have you been a hydroponics farmer? Jamie?
Hello?
Yes. I'm asking how long you have been a hydroponics farmer.
Yes, so I've been a hydroponics farmer for over 5 years.
Okay. And when you started, what prompted you to take that leap?
Going into hydroponics, well, is the fact that you can actually grow a large amount of crops in a small area. Compared to like a traditional farming where you need acres of property or land. So with the hydroponics, it's something that you can like grow a lot of plants in just small area, and that was something that I needed.
And what are you specializing in on your hydroponics farm?
I'm also doing lettuce as well, mainly lettuce, different varieties of lettuce.
How did you decide to, or why did you decide to go with lettuce?
Well, I did research, in the market, and I realized that lettuce is a crop that is easily, it's delicate, but it's easy to be grown, and a lot of persons out there, likes to buy, especially at the hotels and the restaurants. They really like the lettuce, so I found it easy to grow and also to sell.
Right, very good. So that is one reason to stick with it. It's easy to grow, easy to sell, although it's delicate. It really is about the work that you put in. All right. So what issues were you faced with, and how has Newport First Hand aided in finding solutions for you and giving you those solutions?
All right. So since using the first one, 8, 15, 38, have been seeing better results in terms of increase in plant size and darker leaf pigmentations. So comparing it with the previous nutrients or blends that I used to use, I'm actually getting better results from it.
That which certainly sounds good, and that is what you want anyway. You want to ensure that your yield is fantastic, because the better the yield, the more money you get in your pocket.
Definitely, yes.
Because it sounds to me that you both have the whole issue of marketing down pat. Let me find out from you then, Jamie, if you have been recommending the products that you're using to other farmers.
Well, so far for the farmers that I know, yes, I've been telling them about them, and also other farmers have been telling me about the product as well.
Okay,
I
good.
don't
So
know
you're
how much.
exchanging notes.
Go again, repeat.
You're exchanging and comparing notes.
Yes.
Okay, which is certainly good. All right, Overo, what has it been like for you, having had the kinds of results that you have experienced? Are you also sharing the good news with others?
Yes, man. Yes. We share information a lot. Because I don't think there is a lot of hydroponics farmers around. So most times we know each other, and we will compare the results that we are getting with what we are using.
All right, certainly sounds good. Gentlemen, thank you both for this morning, and we wish you continued success in your operations.
All right. Thank you too.
All right. Thank you.
All right, a pleasure having you on. Overo Oates there and Jamie Robinson. Overo is out of Valera Farms. Thank you. Both gentlemen, by the way, are out of the parish of Hanover. All right, let me get back then to Murphy Gooden, because these are the kinds of results that you want to hear about when the farmers, they get the information. They not only listen, but they go out then and they work with the advice that you have given them. And I found it interesting that both farmers grow lettuce. By the way, that would be one of the crops, or that is one of the crops that people are gravitating to in hydroponics farming. Why is that so? What is it about lettuce that makes it attractive, first of all, for hydroponics farmers?
Yeah, man. Hello?
Yes, I was asking what makes lettuce attractive for hydroponics farmers.
Well, as mentioned by Mr. Robinson, one of the things that he had highlighted is that it's one of those crops that can be grown within a short period of time. Even though it's one of those crops that is very delicate, one of the things about it as well is that the price on the lettuce, it tends to be more consistent compared to other crops that are grown. So more farmers are drawn to the lettuce in hydroponics because it's basically grown within a shorter period of time. So for example, if I am growing 6,000 lettuce out here, what I can do, I can basically grow it in such a way that I'm growing it in stages where I'm basically reaping every week, right? So in that case, then the lettuce would basically make a lot of sense.
Okay, and besides, as we can all note, it is one of those vegetables well loved by people. All right, so I want to touch then on the solutions, and we'll start them now, and then we'll carry that over into the final segment. So the solutions are going to be very important, because if you identify a problem but you don't have a solution, then there is an issue. Now, going to get the kinds of results that you want. Let me start first with that Newport-Fersan, Jamaica, what you describe as a technical field visitation. What is that?
All right, now the technical field visitation, it basically means that us as the technical rep, we're basically going within the area. And not just to visit the farm, but to offer technical advice. So we're giving the farmers solutions to the issues that they're facing, right? And one of the things that entails within our technical field visits is that we also do field appraisal. Now, a field appraisal out there is basically a farm And what it is, we'll basically inspect the system, and the issues are certain problems that might exist. We'll basically document it, and we'll highlight it to the farmer to basically make adjustments. These issues can basically come in the farm, as mentioned, not having the right pH. It can basically mean mixing the calcium nitrate and magnesium sulfate into one stock tank, and it could also be an issue with pests. Now, the technical field visit is basically what we do to basically meet new farmers and to also pass on the news or certain solutions that there is. Another solution that exists that we offer at Newport-Fersan is that we offer certain programs to our farmers, and this is basically in the form of improved nutrient management programs. Now, Mr. Oates and Mr. Jamie had made mention of three specific blends, and throughout our discussion, these blends have been standing out: the 8-15-38, the magnesium sulfate, and the calcium nitrate. Now, these blends out here, they are all designed to basically lead to one result. So the 8-15-38, because it contains high phosphorus and also the potassium level is high, what it does for the plants, it basically will give them that strong root. It will also give them that vigorous leaf growth, and because the 8-15-38 also contain micro elements such as iron, boron, zinc, and manganese, it will also give the plants that uniform color and physiology as well. Now, the magnesium sulfate, on the other hand, the key nutrient or the key element that's found within that is both magnesium and sulfur. Now, these basically help to give the plants that darker green pigmentation, whereas the calcium nitrate, it gives the plant that leaf structure. It reduces the tip burn, and it also makes the leaves a little bit more crisp, right? So these blends, when combined a part of the program, one of the things that we do is that we recommend farmers have two separate tanks. Tank A containing the 8-15-38 plus magnesium sulfate, and tank B containing the calcium nitrate. So once the farmers are using these three blends out here, some of the results that they'll see is that they'll have a faster growth, a more uniform growth. It will basically enhance the plant turgor and also the color as well. And as said, it will make the plants have a bit more crunchiness and that crisp that most persons tend to go for when you're buying the lettuce. But overall, it will basically give more biomass, therefore increasing the overall yield.
Okay. And of course, it is important for us to share this information with our farmers. Hold on for us, Murphy. We're past the break. Let us clear commercials and come back. We're rounding out our conversation now with Murphy Gooden, and Murphy is with Newport-Fersan, Jamaica. He is the agronomist for Zone 4, and we've been talking this morning about nutrient and pest management in hydroponics farming. And this is really very important for those of you who either are already in or want to get into hydroponics farming. Okay, so Murphy, can you just then go over some of the challenges and then the solutions, just to reiterate what the issues are, and so we can better help our farmers to understand what they need to do, the kinds of corrective measures that they need to take.
All right. Now, as it relates to the issues that our farmers face, as mentioned, water pH is a major issue. When it comes down to the management of EC, that's also an issue. As mentioned, for most crops, the ideal pH is between 5.5 to 6.5. But if you are growing lettuce specifically in the hydroponic system, the pH is roughly at about 5.8 to 6.2, whereas the EC ideally is roughly at about 1.5 to 2.0 ms per cm. As it relates to the compatibility of nutrients. It is never recommended to mix the calcium nitrate and the magnesium sulphate in one stock tank. So that's a very bad thing to do. So we at Newport-Fersan, we have a program that will basically outline what fertilizer is to be used and also which stock tank these fertilizers should be mixed in. As it relates to pest and disease management, this program that I am mentioning out here is also designed to provide a pesticide chart. Now what it will do, it will basically give the farmers the various pesticides that we have available and the various pests that they target. So we have this a part of the program as well. And as mentioned, we also conduct technical field visitation where field appraisals are done to basically provide to our farmers. So that is for the farmers who have already been doing hydroponic farming for years and those who are recently getting into business. This will basically ensure that you overcome that learning curve as soon as possible so that you can have your success when it comes on to hydroponics farming. So that's basically what we have gone through out there.
And of course, each solution that you put on the table is tailor-made, tailored to suit the farmers. We know that not all hydroponics farms are created equal. So you will have the smaller farmers, the medium-sized, the large farmers. And so when you go on a farm, that is being taken into consideration as well. I do imagine.
Exactly. And also, just to give this point as well, so for our farmers who wish to get a program for their hydroponics plan, you can basically contact us at Newport-Fersan at 876-967-5815. So that's 876-967-5815.
Murphy, are farmers coming to you before they actually start the process, or are some of them coming to you only when they find themselves in a spot of bother?
All right, now, so what I've been doing out here is that because I've been constantly forming a relationship with the farmers within Zone 4, anytime somebody wants to start anything, I'm usually the go-to person that they would basically call, because one of the things about being a part of the Newport-Fersan family is that we are basically trying to build a relationship with our farmers. So the minute there's a new farmer in, since we're on the topic of hydroponics, I'm usually the first person that they would call. And sometimes I would have persons contacting me from outside of Zone 4 because these farmers tend to have a relationship all over the island. So it's never a case where one farmer has to succeed while other persons are not achieving. The aim is to make sure that everybody is winning, right? Everybody has to win.
There's a lot of networking that takes place in the sector generally. Exactly. And then, of course, if you're getting into hydroponics farming, that is even more specific. So you have to have the expertise and you have to share the information constantly so that those who are just coming in, they will not be left behind. It certainly sounds good. Just remind us, Murphy, how it is that people can get in touch with you there at Newport-Fersan.
I didn't quite catch that out there. Can you please repeat?
No, I'm asking you to remind us how people can get in touch with you at Newport-Fersan.
Okay, all right. Now, the contact is 876-967-5815. So again, if farmers are interested in getting are in need of a technical field visitation, or if it's a case where they are in need of a program for their hydroponics, we can basically reach out.
All right. So whatever it is that the farmer requires, they can find the solutions there at Newport-Fersan based on what it is that you have shared with us this morning. Thank you so very much, Murphy. Always a pleasure.
Thank you very much, Althea.
All right, take care. Murphy Gooden there, agronomist for Zone 4, Newport-Fersan, Jamaica. This has been another Fersan in the Field, Real Issues, Real Solutions. Let us just take a quick word from the sponsors. And
Fersan in the Field, Real Issues, Real Solutions was brought to you by Newport-Fersan, Jamaica Limited, the first on the land.